Hey YouTube, Brian LCS. Thanks for stopping by the channel and this video, The Amazing Spider-Man number 23 review. Now we're going to get into spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, you might want to tune away. Let's take a look at the creative team before we get into the story. We have Zeb Wells continuing to write the story and John Romita Jr. on the artwork, the pencils. And here is the synopsis, kind of the lead-in, but we're basically picking up where we left off last issue. Peter Parker was transported back to Earth 616. He was in kind of an alternate dimension with some recent events. He landed in a field in Pennsylvania. We see him hiding his Spidey suit and basically looking to get out of trouble as we see some sirens and police cars in the background, and so he's hauling butt to get out of trouble here. And we see him kind of stumble, and but he avoids getting picked up by the police. And he hid his Spider-Man suit because obviously if Spider-Man landed there, then there might be a lot of questions that are raised. And so he steals some clothes, and we kind of go through this. He steals some clothes, and he contemplated stealing a car, but he doesn't know how to. He basically admits that Peter Parker doesn't know how to hotwire a car, and so he steals some clothes, jumps on the subway or train, and gets back to New York City. And he has this interaction with these couple guys in the subway. Realizes that his timeline is off. He was away for several days in this alternate dimension, but it's only been like a day. So time frames are running different in the different universes, and this kind of amps up his urgency. He gets back to Manhattan, and he goes to check in on Aunt May, and basically he's kind of questioning her, and he's angry, and there's some urgency to his questions, and he realizes that Norman Osborn is here. And Peter doesn't take well to this, saying, "Hey, what are you doing here? Leave Aunt May alone. You need to back off." We see him, really be aggressive and throw Norman up against the wall, and basically threaten him. And Aunt May is a little scared and taken back, and saying, "Peter, you need to, calm down a little bit. And this isn't like you." And he runs off, and now we see him with his roommate Robbie. And again, it's very short, very abrupt, and just on this mission. He wants to get back to Mary Jane. He wants to save her, and so he's going to meet up with Reed Richards at the Fantastic Four, the Baxter Building, and runs into Human Torch and the Thing. And they're kind of listening to his story, but also kind of taking a cautious approach. And Peter is basically saying, "Look, I need to get into Reed's lab. I need to get back to Mary Jane and save her." And the Thing is kind of quite honest with him, saying, "Hey, Reed told us that you couldn't get into his lab, and that the Captain America is looking for you." And so again, Peter just says that this isn't a good situation for me. I need to get out of here, and swings off, and is trying to find another lab that he can work on this little tracker that helped him get to back to New York, and so that he can get back to MJ and hopefully save her. And so he's trying to figure out where he can find a lab, and he sees the helicopters are after him, so he needs to kind of ditch the Spider-Man costume so that he can kind of be a little bit in stealth mode. And we run into Captain America. Captain America, knows Spider-Man's secret identity as Peter Parker, and so Cap's basically saying, "Hey, look, you need to come in. We found the FBI. The FBI found your Spider-Man suit out in Pennsylvania, where there's this big interdimension explosion. They have some questions. They want to make sure you're not up to anything." And Peter's like, "Well, how long is that going to take?" And he says, "Well, maybe a day or two." And again, he's struck with this urgency, and so he basically takes it to Cap, sucker punches Cap, and he basically gets the best of him, and runs off, swings off, and so again he's he's on this mission to get to a lab to get back to MJ to save her. And so he breaks into Oscorp, Norman Osborn's lab, because it's really the only other lab that he can think of. And we see Norman, and Peter, breaks down and basically asks for help. And so that's kind of where we end the issue. And so we see the preview for next issue where Norman is helping, Peter with some technology. Looks like an upgraded Spider-Man suit. And so, overall, this was just really, it felt like a filler issue for me. A lot of just things that we've already known. We knew Peter was in this other dimension, came back, and was on kind of the outs with a number of the people close to him. There was some rocky relationship there. And so this really kind of just filled that in a little bit, gave us a little bit more detail on it, but really didn't move this overall story that forward. So I'm hoping next issue will get, some more of the details. The one thing I do think, and we got a glimpse of it last issue with Paul, and Paul being tied into Raven, that he was basically one of his former students. So I'm thinking, and this is a little bit of my theory here, that maybe Paul and Mary Jane's relationship was really just a necessity, that Paul was there to help maybe protect Mary Jane, because it just seems odd that he would show up and being a former student of Raven, who's now the villain that we're dealing with, that he would then, become in a relationship with Mary Jane, have kids. So I almost feel like that might be a plant, that maybe they thought that Raven would come back at some point. And so MJ and Paul were teamed up or living together as more of a protection for Mary Jane. I don't know, maybe, my theory, but let me know what you think. If you think that's a possibility, that maybe it was just out of convenience or safety that Paul and MJ got together. But, well, only time will tell. I think we have 2 more issues, issue 24 and then an oversized 25 that will wrap up this story arc. I really want to get to the end of this already. It's been dragging on for quite some time. But overall, this was okay, really a filler issue for me. So if I'm looking at my 5 webhead review system, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst, I'm going to go 2. Again, not really just a filler issue. Didn't really move the story arc forward. So that's why we'll go with a 2. But let me know down in the comments what you think. Have you been reading this? What did you think of this issue? What do you think where are we going with the story? What's at the, why are MJ and Paul together and Peter and MJ not? What do you think? Do you have any theories out there? And let me know about the format. Changing this format up a little bit on the reviews. Wanted to kind of up the quality of the reviews a little bit with just the images that I'm showing throughout the video. So let me know. Let me know down in the comments, like I said, whether you're enjoying this issue, not, and what do you think of the new format of the review. But we'll see you soon for another review. We do have Spider-Man, the Dan Slott coming up. That'll be my next review, and then we'll certainly be continuing to review ASM and the Miles Morales Spider-Man as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.